location there. Let's write down the coordinates and we are going to go inside the motor transducers. They're sticky as can get, please.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Jahangir and you are watching Acing Surgery. Today we are going to discuss the abdominal examination. Friends, we are starting the abdominal examination. Very important part of abdominal examination is the introduction of the doctor, introduction of the patient and the consent. Without this, you cannot perform the abdominal examination with my introduction and then patient examination, and then we will do the consent and then we'll start the abdominal examination. मेरा नाम डॉक्टर जहांगीर है और मैं उस टीम का हिस्सा हूं जो आपका मुआयना कर रही है। आपका क्या नाम है? काशिफ अली। काशिफ अली, तबीयत कैसी है आपकी? ठीक है। So greetings are very important. Whenever you are doing the abdominal examination or any examination, greeting is very important, and try to call the patient with his name. He will be much satisfied from your examination. काशिफ, मैं आपके पेट का मुआयना करना चाहता हूँ, अगर आपकी इजाज़त हो तो। कोई मसला तो नहीं है? कोई तकलीफ नहीं होगी? अगर कोई भी आपको तकलीफ हो तो आप बताइएगा, उधर मैं रुक जाऊँगा। ठीक है? So this was the first of all the introduction and the consent, and then we will expose the patient. In exposure, the proper exposure is up to the chest, mid chest and mid of the thigh. But in this case, we cannot expose the patient thoroughly because this is not the actual patient. This is actually the specimen, or we can say the dummy patient we have kept here for just learning purpose. So I am going to expose the abdomen only for learning purpose up to the upper part of the abdomen and not below the inguinal area. Friends, we are going to start the inspection of the patient. You will start the inspection from the foot side first, and then you will come to the level of abdomen of the patient on the right side of the patient. So first of all, we will come on the foot side of the patient, and we have to go at the level of the patient to see the shape of abdomen. Actually, we will see at the 4 points: the shape of the abdomen, the cuff impulse, and coordinate sign we will perform here to see any defect in the abdomen. Here we will ask the patient to cough. खांसी करें? So there is no any bulge seen at the inguinal area or any other area of the abdomen. आप अपने हाथ सर के पीछे ले जाएं, दोनों हाथ, और ऊपर उठने की कोशिश करें। ऊपर सर उठाएं, दोनों हाथ पीछे ही रहेंगे, दोनों हाथ पीछे ही रहेंगे। ऊपर आए, ऊपर आए। ठीक है, वेरी गुड। लेट जाए। So here there is no any bulge seen in the coordinate sign as well. So now we will come on the right side of the patient. You have to be on the right side, not on the left side. Always examine the abdomen on the right side. Here you will come at the level of the abdomen, and you will see the position of the umbilicus, any scar, any engorged vein around the umbilicus, or any pulsations visible on the inspection you can see. You have to see the main things in the abdomen that are very much important surgical point of view or any medical disease. We are starting the palpation now. After inspection, the second part of abdominal examination is the palpation. Palpation is very important to do to rule out any intra-abdominal or extra-abdominal pathologies. So first of all, we always ask from the patient before starting the palpation for the pain, any pain in the abdomen. Wherever the site of pain is present, when suppose patient is saying that he or she has pain in the right hypochondrium, so you have to start from left side. If the pain is on the left side, you have to start from the right side. The pain area would be examined in the last. This is the main thing should be remembered. Secondly, you have to examine the abdomen in the S shape. If you are starting from the left iliac fossa, then go upward, then left, on the right, then downward, and then on the left, then upward. This is the S shape you have to do. So we are going to do the palpation of the abdomen and abdominal palpation. Before starting the palpation, you have to wear the gloves. So I am wearing the gloves, and there are two main parts of the palpation, that is the superficial palpation and the deep palpation. In superficial palpation, you will see any superficial swelling, any tenderness, or anything that may be related to the deep things, or if it is superficial only, you can find it in the superficial palpation. And in deep palpation, you will try to see the intra-abdominal or extra-abdominal anomaly. So before starting the superficial palpation, I will ask. तो अभी हम इनसे पूछेंगे कि आपको दर्द है कहीं पे। आप काशिफ, आपको कहीं दर्द है पेट में? हाँ, so patient is complaining of pain in the right iliac fossa. So we'll start our examination from the left iliac fossa. Whenever you are palpating the abdomen, try to look at the face of the abdomen patient to rule out the pain, whether the pain is present or not. So I will start superficially by looking at the face of the patient and in S-shaped manner. So currently patient is not having any pain, but in right iliac fossa patient is mildly tender. The importance of the superficial abdominal examination is to get the confidence of the patient. Superficial palpation, we will do the deep palpation of the abdomen. Again the method is same, S shape from the left iliac fossa to the right iliac fossa, because the patient is having the pain in the right iliac fossa. Always look at the face of the patient when you are palpating the patient, so that you can elicit the pain. So after the deep palpation, now you have to palpate the abdominal viscera. Most important abdominal viscera are liver, spleen, kidney and bladder. Doctors forget to examine the urinary bladder, and that is very wrong. Without urinary bladder examination, your abdominal examination is not complete. So we are starting from the liver, then we will palpate the spleen, then kidney, and then the the urinary bladder. So whenever we are starting for the liver, we will ask the patient to deep inspire, and then we will palpate the liver. आप गहरी सांस लेंगे. You have to start from the right iliac fossa and go to the right hypochondric region. If you feel any lower border of the liver, you have to mark it. So here the liver is not palpable. While palpating the liver, you can also measure the size of the liver. For measuring the size of liver, you have to see the lower border and the upper border of the liver. In lower border, you can feel it manually. When you are localizing the upper border, you have to percuss. So you have to start the percussion from second intercostal space downward. Normally there is a resonant area where you find a dull area. Here is a dull area. So the dull area is the landmark for the liver. So from here up to the lower border palpated by the finger is the size of the liver that you can measure with the inch tape. Then we will come to the spleen. In the spleen, we will start again from right iliac fossa towards the left hypochondric region obliquely. So when the spleen is double of its normal size, then it can only be palpated, otherwise not. गहरी सांस लें. हम अभी स्प्लीन को पल्पेट कर रहे हैं. Obliquely हम जाएंगे towards the left hypochondric area. When in the malaria or something like that causes the splenomegaly, the spleen can be palpated here. But for suppose if you are not able to palpate the spleen by oblique manner, you can manually rotate the patient on the right side to make it more prominent. थोड़ा आप इधर मुड़ जाए. Here if you can palpate, you can, if there is a large spleen. But in this patient, spleen is also not palpable. As I already told you, this is a dummy patient. He do not have any positive finding. This is just for the method correction. Now coming to the kidneys. We always palpate the kidney bimanually. We have to give support from the back and then palpate from anterior. So I am starting from the back, and I am pushing the kidney forward, and I will palpate from front. This is a bimanual method for palpating the kidney. After palpating the kidney, we have to see the bladder. Many of the patients coming to your hospital with the pain, complaint of abdominal pain. We are suspecting that this patient might have the intestinal obstruction, but that patient is actually suffering from the urinary retention, not the intestinal obstruction. That distended bladder is causing the localized paralytic ileus or localized compression that has caused the patient to go into the relative constipation. So whenever you are palpating you have to come from above downward this way. Here you can feel the border of the the distended urinary bladder. So you will come from above downward, you will see the distended urinary bladder. Again, this patient is not having the distended urinary bladder. So these were all viscera you have to palpate, and after that, if the patient is the case of ascites or massive distended abdomen is there, you have to rule out whether the patient is ascites or not, because abdominal distension can be due to the intestinal obstruction or massive abdominal ascites. So you have to do the fluid thrill. You have to take the patient help of the patient, or you can ask some attendant nearby for the help. So I am taking the help from the patient to see the fluid thrill. Ask the patient to keep the hand in the midline, and then you have to do it. आप अपना ये हाथ सीधा करके यहाँ पे ऐसे रखें और जोर दें, ठीक है? This will be done by the patient or the attendant of the patient. Then you will keep the patient hand on the left side, and you will tap the patient abdomen on from the right side. If you are feeling the thrill in the left hand, it shows that the fluid thrill is positive. But if the fluid thrill is not positive, then you can do the shifting dullness in the percussion, because shifting dullness is a part of percussion, not the, okay. Now we are coming to the next part of the abdominal examination, that is the percussion. As I already told you, to mark the size of the liver, you have to percuss from the second intercostal space downward. It is very important, that I already told you in this inspect palpation. Now the importance of percussion is remaining for the shifting dullness. In shifting dullness, you have to see whether the fluid is present or not in the abdomen. If the patient is having the massive ascites, fluid thrill will be positive, and there is no need of the shifting dullness. But if the patient is having the less ascites or moderate to mild ascites, then you have to perform the shifting dullness. Now we are going to do the maneuver of shifting dullness. You will start the percussion from epigastrium up to the umbilicus, and then you will follow that percussion to the right or left. And then you will tilt the patient and wait for 2 seconds, and again you will start percussion on that area. So this was a brief introduction of the shifting dullness. Now we are going to perform it. So सबसे पहले आप एपिगेस्ट्रियम से लेके अम्बलाइकस तक परकस करते हुए आओगे. उसके बाद आप राइट या लेफ्ट कोई भी एक जगह पे आप जाओगे परकस करते हुए. फिर आप पेशेंट को टिल्ट करोगे. उसके बाद 2 सेकंड का वेट दोगे. उसके बाद दोबारा परकस करोगे. So we are starting from here. The percussion is starting from epigastrium. Voice is tympanic. If I feel in dull sound, that would be positive for the fluid. So after that you have to tilt the patient. आप थोड़ा इधर करवट ले लें. You have to tilt. जो भी अंदर fluid होगा वो नीचे चला जाएगा. ठीक है. अगर अभी डल आ रहा था, अभी फ्लूइड नीचे जाने के बाद रेजोनेंट आया, इसका मतलब है कि फ्लूइड मौजूद है अंदर. So this is how after shifting dullness you can percuss the viscera. As I already told you about the liver in palpation. Now we will go for the spleen. Same as we were doing the palpation, we will do the percussion now. You will start percussion from the right iliac fossa, then go to the left side. If you find any dullness, that is the area for the hollow, that is the area for the viscera. So this was for the spleen. Now you are going to percuss for the bladder. You will start from the epigastrium, or just blow that and go downward. So the tympanic fluid, the tympanic sound can be converted into that dull sound if the bladder is distended, because bladder is again containing the urine, that is actually the fluid, and it causes the decrease in the intensity of sound, and the sound becomes dull. After percussion, the last part is remaining, that is the auscultation. So here important part is to see any bruit around the umbilicus, or to see the gut sounds that are very important, the surgical point of view, because in peritonitis gut sounds become absent, and in intestinal obstruction gut sounds become exaggerated. So you will see the periumbilical area for the auscultation. Put the stethoscope at least 3 minutes to see the gut sounds. If you are not able to see the gut sound at one side, try to keep it on the other side, then on the upper side, and then again on the right side. So these are the 4 points you see the gut sound. It is very important to see for the gut sound, because your decision is important for the patient whether you to go for the surgery or not, because this is again very important for the surgical point. After auscultating the gut sound and the bruit, you will do the most important part of the abdominal examination, that is the digital rectal examination. DRE is very important. Without DRE, your abdominal examination is not complete. So in this patient, we are not going to do the DRE, and after DRE, you will say thanks to the patient, you will cover the patient, and after that, covering the patient, you will be finishing your abdominal examination. आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, तकलीफ के लिए माजरत. This was all about the abdominal examination. I tried my level best to simplify the abdominal examination so that you can understand very well. And if your people are facing any difficulty in abdominal examination or something like that or any other topic, you can drop the comment below, and we will inshallah try to make you understand the difficult things if you are facing. In the end, I would say that like and subscribe our channel. We'll remain thankful to you. If you want to learn more things, you have to subscribe and like our channel.